Sri Gopakumar said, Then Narada embraced Uddhava, and with plaintive words humbly begged, Please, you say something. Uddhava, overcome with ecstatic love and humbly bowing his head again and again, said, At every moment I offer my respectful obeisances to the women of Nanda's Braj. Sanatana Goswami explains that Uddhava could understand Narada's intention in asking him to speak. Touching his head to the ground with great love, he sang the glories of the greatest devotees. Uddhava, the servant of Lord Hari, suddenly became very agitated. Taking a straw in his teeth and grasping Narada's feet, he sang this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10:47-61. The gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husbands, sons, and other family members who are very difficult to give up, and they have forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to become one of the bushes, creepers, or herbs in Vrindavan, because the gopis trample them and bless them with the dust of their lotus feet. Displaying symptoms of the greatest ecstatic love and filled with wonder, again he loudly sang this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:47-60. When Lord Sri Krishna was dancing with the gopis in the Ras Leela, the gopis were embraced by the arms of the Lord. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon the goddess of fortune or the other consorts in the spiritual world. Indeed, never was such a thing even imagined by the most beautiful girls in the heavenly planets, whose bodily luster and aroma resemble the lotus flower. And what to speak of worldly women, who are very beautiful according to material estimation. Lord Narada became filled with great wonder. Seeing that I was unhappy, he at once sang this. Sri Narada said, Uddhava, the best of all devotees, offers his respectful obeisances to the dust of the gopis' lotus feet. He prays to be born as a blade of grass, fortunate enough to be touched by the dust of their lotus feet. Even Rukmini, who is famous as Lord Hari's beloved, who, yearning for the infallible Lord, refused to act as an ordinary pious girl, and who almost died when the Lord spoke to her a single joke, could not attain even the scent of the gopis' good fortune. What are the best of women in comparison to the gopis? What are the goddesses of Swargaloka? What are the queens headed by Satyabhama and Kalindi? What are the noble women headed by Rohini? I am insignificant. Who am I? Still, my restless tongue will not stop glorifying the gopis. O son of a Gopa, O friend of the Lord of Braj, Uddhava is the best of loving devotees. Because he was fortunate to receive the Lord's mercy, he was able to see the ecstatic love of the gopis in Braj. The gopis gave him such great mercy that he forgot even about Lord Krishna. The Lord's uncle is Svapalka's son, Akrura. His heart is dry with knowledge that has no sweetness. An old man, his heart unable to melt with compassion. He came to Braj as Kamsa's messenger. He can meditate on Lord Krishna's lotus feet and describe them, but because he offended the gopis, he cannot meditate on them in his heart, or describe their exalted glories. In these verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Akrura says, I will be able to see the Lord's lotus feet, which are worshipped by great demigods like Brahma, Narada, and Lord Shiva, which traverse the ground of Vrindavan as he herds the cows, and which touched the breasts of the gopis covered with tinges of kumkum. When I bow down before Lord Krishna in that way, certainly he will place his fearless lotus hand upon my head. His hand is offered to all conditioned souls who take shelter under his lotus feet. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life for all people who fear the snake of material existence. And certainly, when I see him, he will give me the shelter of his lotus feet. I am aspiring for the touch of his lotus-like hand upon my head. Indra, who is the king of heaven and the master of the three worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems, was blessed by the Lord simply for his offering a little water, which Krishna accepted. Similarly, Bali Maharaj gave only 3 feet of land in charity to Vamanadev, and he also offered a little water, which Lord Vamanadev accepted, and thereby Bali Maharaj attained the position of Indra. When the gopis were dancing with Krishna in the rasa dance, they became fatigued, and Krishna smeared his hand, which is fragrant as a lotus flower, over the pearl-like drops of perspiration on the faces of the gopis, and immediately they became refreshed.